I remember the day Clara first dismissed my Etsy shop like it was a half-baked daydream. We were sitting in our grandmother's sunlit kitchen, the scent of vanilla waffles drifting through the air. I just unboxed the newest shipments of glass beads, thanked her for ordering extra supplies, and showed her one of my signature moonstone-infused earring pairs, strung with tiny silver crescents. Moonstones? Silver crescents? Clara had tilted her head, her lips curling into a smirk. She leaned forward, finger-tapping one dangling earring. Isn't that a bit wizardy? I swallowed, trying to steady my enthusiasm. They're my Crystal Knights collection. Handcrafted, each pair is unique. People buy them for anniversaries, birthdays, even weddings. She laughed, a sharp sound that clanged on the tile floors. You're telling me someone will pay, what, $50? $100? For that? She flicked the earring, and it swung back against her palm. I could snag these at Claire's for $5. The word Claire's seemed to echo around me, pushing air from my lungs. I forced a smile. These are sterling silver, hand-set. I trademarked the design. Luna Nova earrings. Clara waved her hand dismissively. Trademarked. Right. Grandma bustled in, hot waffle in hand. She peered at Clara's hand, then at me. They're lovely, Jenna. Clara rolled her eyes. Honestly, Grandma, she's got a thing for pretending she's some jewelry guru. It's an Etsy shop, not Cartier. That sting. Etsy shop, not Cartier, pricked my confidence. But Grandma just patted my shoulder and winked. Stay in your lane, dear. When I left that afternoon, carrying my beads and my wounded pride, I laid plans in my notebook, new earring styles, marketing photos, blog posts about the magic of moonstones. I ignored Clara's laughter, chalking it up to her boundless snark. 6 months later, I was packing shipments in my cramped apartment, each earring pair nestled in velvet pouches, sealed in bubble mailers. Luna Nova was growing 5-star reviews, sales doubling every month, a feature on a local blogger's handmade holiday gifts list. My days were a delicate dance between designing new pieces, answering customer inquiries, and juggling inventory lists on spreadsheets that looked more like cryptic runes than tracking tools. One Saturday, I wandered into my favorite coffee shop, the Roasted Bean, with its exposed brick walls and succulent displays, and spotted Clara at a corner table, laptop open, iced latte half finished. She looked up, startled, then smiled. A rehearsed grin. Jenna, she said, voice sweet. Hey. I perched on the stool opposite her. She'd already cleared 2 chairs as if expecting me. You here for the study group? She shrugged, closing her laptop. Kind of. I needed a change of scenery. I glanced at her screen, an empty Word doc staring back. Need help with the essay? She waved it away. Nah. Then she leaned in, eyes bright. Actually, I wanted to talk about your Etsy shop. My chest tightened. Okay. She flicked her hair behind her ear and reached into her tote bag, pulling out a small jewelry box. Grandma gave me these yesterday. She clicked the lid open. A pair of earrings gleamed inside, delicate silver crescents, cradling pearlescent moons. They looked exactly like my Luna Nova design, only more polished, the moonstones glowing with an almost uncanny radiance. I blinked. Those are Luna Nova earrings. She tilted her head, studying my face. I thought they were pretty. You wouldn't mind if I wore them at Maria's wedding next week? I didn't trust my voice. You know I trademarked that design. She fluttered her lashes. Trademarked? That sounds so lawyery. Grandma bought them at that art fair downtown. Art fair? My words felt brittle. Not at an art fair. She shrugged, slipping the earrings onto the tray on the table. I don't know the details. I just thought they were cute. I stared at the earrings, so clearly my creation, replicated almost to perfection. I imagined my late-night hours painting silver crescents, drilling tiny holes for earring hooks, polishing each moonstone until it caught the light just so. The patent certificate I'd framed hung on my bedroom wall like a badge of honor. And here they were, on Clara's ears, gifted, worn, flaunted, yet drawn from a source she couldn't even name. I designed those, I said finally, voice low. I trademarked them. Clara laughed, and it felt like gravel in my throat. Seriously, how many people even know what trademarked means? I sank onto the stool, chest heaving with anger and betrayal. It means I own the design. You can't just wear them like they're costume jewelry. She rolled her eyes. They're earrings, Jenna. You need to chill. She reached across the table, tucking a lock of my hair behind my ear. Don't get so worked up. I like them. That's a compliment. But it wasn't a compliment. It was theft, brazen, gleeful, unrepentant. I stood, pushing the stool back. I'll see you around. She didn't look up. Sure. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying Clara's laughter. My phone buzzed with a new Etsy order. 2 pairs, one labeled birthday gift. I pictured the gift tag, the anticipation of surprise, when someone peeled back the velvet pouch and saw a Luna Nova earring pair for the first time. And I knew I had to respond differently than before. Next morning, I arrived at Grandma's house to tackle some family bookkeeping. The small dining table was piled with receipts and invoices. Grandma offered tea and biscuits. After we'd brewed the kettle, I took a deep breath. "Grandma, can I ask you something?" She smiled. "Of course, dear." I leaned forward. "Do you remember that art fair you mentioned?" She sipped her tea. "The one on Riverfront Lane?" "Yes, they have it every spring." "Did you buy these earrings there?" I slid Clara's gift box across the table. Grandma studied the earrings, then frowned. "Oh, these. They came wrapped in a ribbon. I thought they were custom made. But do you know who sold them?" I pressed. She shook her head. The stall was a bit crowded. "A young woman, she said she made them herself. Luna something." I didn't catch her last name. My heart skipped. Luna something, Luna Nova. It clicked. Clara hadn't plotted in shadow, she'd smuggled my own signature brand right under my nose. Grandma didn't recognize the name. Clara had not only worn my design but spun a story to cover her tracks. That stall, I said, was publicizing a photographer's portfolio pieces. They commissioned local artisans to produce small runs. She's licensing designs. Grandma blinked. Licensing. I nodded, which means someone could have legally bought a license from me to produce a run. But I never licensed that design. I only sold directly on Etsy. Grandma's brow furrowed. "Then those earrings are counterfeit." My jaw clenched. "Or stolen." Grandma laid her hand over mine. "What will you do?" I closed my fist over her fingers. "I have to talk to Clara. And I have to decide whether to protect the trademark or let it go. Because if people already wear Luna Nova without knowing who I am, maybe I've got something bigger than I realized." Grandma's eyes glimmered with pride. "You've come a long way, Jenna." I swallowed, thoughts racing. Protect the design meant legal battles, family drama. Letting it go risked devaluing my brand. But this was more than a business dispute. It was my work, my vision, co-opted by someone who mocked it. I found Clara later that week at a picnic in the park. Our extended family gathered under a canopy of maples, fried chicken, coleslaw, laughter in the air. The sun dappled through leaves, and children chased each other with watermelon slices dribbling down their chins. I perched on the edge of a picnic blanket, watching Clara. She was engrossed in conversation, hair tucked behind her ears where the Luna Nova earrings glinted. I walked toward her, feet crunching over gravel. She looked up, beaming. "Jenna." She steadied herself and offered me a plate of slaw. "Here, try this. Lucas would kill me if you left hungry." I nodded, accepting the plate, but set it on a nearby cooler. "Clara, we need to talk." Her smile tightened. "Sure." She gestured to a tree stump. "Let's sit." We settled side by side. The earring moons swung gently as she moved. I drew a breath. "Those earrings." She touched one, frowning. "What about them?" I looked around at my family, all oblivious. "You laughed at my shop." I began softly. "Then you took my design and wore it like it wasn't mine." Her eyes darted away. "I didn't think." "You didn't think I'd notice?" I asked. "I see everything." She pressed her lips together. "I'm sorry. I thought they were from the art fair." I leaned forward. "They are, from the art fair. But that stall was reproducing my trademark design without my permission." Her face paled. "I didn't know that." I exhaled. "Of course you didn't. You never care to know. You just saw something shiny and decided to wear it." Clara's eyes glistened. "I'm sorry, Jenna." I shook my head. "I can't just accept that." I felt tears prickle. "This is my livelihood, my brand, and you, a family member, took it, paraded it around, as if I wouldn't defend myself." She reached out, hand trembling. "I'll give them back." I stood, voice rising, despite my best efforts. "That's not enough. I don't want the earrings. I want respect for what I build, the blood, sweat, and tears I put into Luna Nova." She blinked. "I never realized, what if someone reads your blog post mocking Moon Wizard earrings, and then Googles Luna Nova, finds knockoffs, and thinks my designs aren't worth the price?" I swallowed, clutching at the stallion of anger. I can't let that happen. Clara's shoulders slumped. Okay. I'll whatever you want. I closed my eyes, chest tight. I wanted vindication, a showdown, but our family picnic hummed around us, and I realized humiliation would hurt more than closure. File a claim at the art fair committee, I said slowly. I'll send you the contact. And put the earrings away. Don't wear them until we sort this out. She nodded, cheeks flushed. All right. I paused, the weight in my chest easing. Then we'll move forward. But understand, I'm serious about this. She looked at me, remorse in her eyes. I do. I'm really sorry. I stood. Thank you. That night, I sat at my desk, drafting an email to the art fair organizers, a cease and desist report, evidence of my trademark, order receipts from Etsy, proving I was the original creator. I attached photos, my original Luna Nova prototypes, the patent certificate, even the listing page with my logo watermark. My fingers hovered over the send button. This was more than retrieving stolen earrings. It was defending every late night spent bead stringing, every marketing campaign, every hopeful listing that had blossomed into sales and customer praise. I clicked send, exhaling. A new chapter had begun, one where family ties tangled with business boundaries. The park picnic, once a backdrop of happy chatter, now carried the echoes of confrontation and forgiveness. But Luna Nova would stand its ground. My email whooshed off into the digital ether. I leaned back, eyes shining with determination. Tomorrow I'd call the art fair committee again if needed. And I'd watch closely. Luna Nova would emerge stronger, its designs recognized for the craft they deserved. And Clara, well, maybe she'd learn to respect more than just shiny things. And so, under the glow of my desk lamp, I tapped open my latest earring sketch, intertwining silver vines, supporting twin moonstones, a new design to follow Luna Nova's trademarked legacy. My heart thrummed with the rhythm of creation and the promise of justice. I woke to the ping of my phone's alarm and the soft glow of morning light leaking through my curtains. The park confrontation still felt alive in my veins. Clara's watery apology, the hum of cicadas overhead, the bright picnic blankets swaying on the grass. That moment had set off a chain reaction, a cease and desist lodged with the art fair, an email sent at midnight, and now the waiting game. I swung my legs over the side of the bed, feet brushing the cool floor, and reached for my laptop. A new email in my inbox gave me a jolt of triumph. Luna Nova infringement report. Case #793. Preliminary review complete. The subject line glowed with possibility, and my heart ticked faster. I clicked it open. The art fair committee had reviewed my submission and agreed to investigate the vendor. They'd freeze sales of the suspect earrings pending proof of license. My chest lifted, like a balloon catching wind. Finally, the world was catching up to the trademark I'd spent months securing. I saved the email, then sat back, breathing deeply. But there was no time to bask. Today was the first day of Luna Nova Live, the pop-up trunk show I'd booked at a local artisan market. For this, I'd rented a vintage Airstream trailer to showcase my collections, revamped with velvet drapes, soft spotlights, and a charging station for customers' phones. I grabbed my sketchbook and strapped on my crossbody bag as I headed downstairs, keys jingling. By mid-morning, the Airstream was parked in the heart of Riverfront Commons, flanked by woodworkers selling hand-turned bowls and a soap maker offering lavender goat's milk bars. I unlatched the trailer's doors, and the bright interiors popped to life, glass cases lined with earrings here, necklaces there, each piece labeled with the Luna Nova logo, embossed in silver. The scent of eucalyptus essential oil I'd spritzed the night before lingered in the air. I arranged a display of the new Luna's Embrace collection, delicate hoops adorned with tiny moonstones nestled in silver petals. The design riffed off the crescent motif, but softened the angles, giving each pair a petal-like silhouette. I ticked off my mental checklist, price tags affixed, business cards at the ready, payment terminal charged. A little after 10, a line curled around the trailer. First came the usual customers, women who'd followed my Etsy store for years, faces bright with recognition. They squealed when they saw the hammered silver settings and clutched their purchases to their chests. One young woman in a floral dress burst into tears, saying she'd lost her grandmother's necklace and felt these earrings honored that memory. I apologized for her loss and hugged her, my heart coursing with meaning. This was why I did it. Then at 11:15, Clara arrived, hands shoved in her pockets, sunglasses perched on her head, and no earrings dangling from her lobes. She paused at the Airstream's doorway, shifting from foot to foot. I caught her eye and gave a small wave. "Your pop-up looks amazing," she said, peeling off her shades. She half smiled, uncertain. "I thought I'd show support." I nodded, offering her a glass of sparkling water. "Thanks, want a tour?" She accepted the water, and I led her inside. "This is Luna's Embrace, and over here is Crystal Nights, the collection you know." Her gaze flicked across the trays. "They look polished, they're handmade." My tone softened. "I'm glad you came." She looked down at her shoes, fiddling with the hem of her shorts. "About what happened? I'm really sorry. I didn't think the art fair would sell knockoffs. I feel awful." I stopped beside Crystal Nights. The moonstones glimmered in the spotlight. "Thank you for apologizing. This show isn't about blame, it's about the future. I want us to move forward." Clara exhaled. "Can I help?" "I mean at the show." I studied her, sensing genuine remorse. "Actually, yes. Could you hand these headpins to customers? And direct them to the mirror over there?" I pointed to a small ring of mirrors at the back. "We need people to try on pieces and send selfies to #LunaNova Live." Her shoulders relaxed. "I can do that." I tapped my watch. "Great. I've got a meeting in 30 minutes with the fair organizer to check on the investigation. Could you cover me?" She gave me a quick nod. "I've got it." As I hurried to the fair organizer's tent, a blue canopy with the art fair's logo, Clara slipped into the trailer and took charge. By the time I returned, customers were lining up to try on Luna's Embrace, texting the photos as #LunaNova Live trended on the market's Wi-Fi. The monthly foot traffic double-hopped my normals. The meeting with the organizer, Miss Caldwell, was quick but decisive. She sat behind a folding table, clipboard in hand. "Jenna, we've located the vendor in question. He's been suspended pending proof. Thank you for your thorough documentation." I exhaled. "Thank you for acting swiftly. I appreciate the fair's support of original artisans." She smiled. "Riverfront Commons prides itself on protecting creatives like you. Expect a formal notice by email." I shook her hand, relief flooding me. As I walked away, my phone buzzed, my trademark attorney confirming he filed the infringement paperwork, setting legal wheels in motion. Peter's firm would demand either a licensing agreement or damages. The vendor wouldn't stand a chance. Back at the trailer, Clara was helping a teenager pick between Luna's Embrace and Crystal Nights for prom. She matched the earring shapes to the teen's dress, advised on styling hair, even illustrated how to talk about moonstones in an elevator pitch. The teenager beamed and left clutching a velvet pouch. Clara turned as I approached. "She's thrilled," Clara said, eyes bright. "Thanks for trusting me with this." I gave her a warm smile. "You redeemed yourself today." She exhaled, the tension easing from her face. "I want to learn. I know I messed up, but I'm proud of what you've built." Her words hit like sunlight after a storm. "Welcome aboard," I said, turning back to the display. By late afternoon, the sun cast long shadows across the commons, and I'd sold out of half my stock. I packed the unsold pieces, slipping them into the Airstream's shelves, and stepped outside to catch a breath. Clara was gathering the leftover business cards, stacking them neatly. I joined her, leaning against the trailer's polished exterior. "How are you holding up?" She shrugged. "Better. It's rewarding, seeing people react to these designs. I didn't realize the stories behind each pair until today." I nodded. "Every crescent, every stone, carries a memory or a wish. That's the magic of LunaNova." She glanced at her phone. "I posted photos. Your hashtag is blowing up. I think I gained more followers today than I have all month." I grinned. That's the power of authenticity. She turned to me. "You know, I'd like to help more. Maybe work with you on new designs? I have a background in metalworking from college. I could assist with prototypes." I studied her, remembering the sharp laugh at Grandma's kitchen table. But now I saw her differently, eager to learn, sincere in her respect. "I'd like that. Let's set up a time to experiment in my studio." Clara's grin was full and genuine this time. "Really? I'd love that." That evening, we closed the trailer and hitched it back to my apartment complex's parking lot. After unloading, I sorted through the day's sales figures, net profits, cost of goods, marketing ROI. It all looked better than I dared hope. I leaned back on the tailgate and wiped sweat from my brow as Clara sat beside me. Your dream's bigger than merchandise, she said softly. It's about community. I nodded, gazing up at the sky. Exactly. Luna Nova isn't just jewelry, it's connection. A reminder that beauty can be both personal and universal. She studied the trailer's signage. Luna Nova etched in silver. I'm sorry for doubting you. My throat tightened. Thank you for coming around. Family's complicated, but I'm glad we found common ground. She rested her head on my shoulder. Me too. In the days that followed, the art fair committee sent a formal notice. The infringing vendor was permanently barred from Riverfront Commons, ordered to cease production and pay a settlement. I posted the news on my social channels, thanking the fair and reaffirming Luna Nova's commitment to original design. Sales on Etsy spiked as customers flocked to support an artisan defending her craft. Clara and I began weekly design sessions in my studio, experimenting with new earring forms, petals, waves, constellations stitched in silver wire. She turned out to be a natural collaborator, suggesting bead combinations I never would have considered. We laughed over spilled pearls and coffee-stained sketch pads, the bond between us softening into genuine sisterhood. One afternoon, Grandma stopped by the studio, her knitting needles clacking. She admired a pair of earrings that combined moonstones with pale rose quartz. They're stunning, she said, slipping them onto her ears. You two should enter the National Artisan Award. It's in November. I exchanged a glance with Clara. That's a great idea. Clara's eyes sparkled. Let's do it. As autumn approached, Luna Nova grew into more than an Etsy shop or a trailer at the Commons. We launched a subscription box, Luna's Garden, featuring seasonal gemstone sets, exclusive sketches, and a handwritten note about each stone's meaning. We held pop-up events in other cities, rented shared studio spaces, and partnered with a community center to teach jewelry-making classes for teens. Clara led a workshop on metalsmith basics, her hands steady as she taught kids how to solder their first wire hoop. One evening, at the last market of the season, Clara and I sat on folding chairs behind the trailer, wrapped in blankets against the chill. We sipped hot cider and watched the lights twinkle on the painted airstream. I never thought I'd find my place here, Clara said, her breath misting. You gave me a chance. I nudged her shoulder. You earned it. She gave me a sly grin. So what's next for Luna Nova? I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out a small sketchbook. I flipped to a page with an inked design, a full moon embraced by swirling silver vines, petals unfurling like a rose. I've been sketching a new centerpiece. I think we can call it Luna's Bloom. Want to help me bring it to life? Clara closed her eyes and inhaled deeply. Let's do it. The night air crackled with possibility as we leaned together over the sketch. Behind us, the market hum faded to a gentle whisper, and the constellations flickered above. The path from mocking laughter in Grandma's kitchen to this moment under open skies had been winding and jagged, but we'd forged something stronger than wax-on-wire earring hooks. We'd built a creative family bound by shared passion and respect. And as I traced the inked lines of Luna's Bloom, I knew our journey was far from over. The world awaited our next design, our next collaboration, our next chance to remind people that magic could be found in the delicate dance of moonstone and silver, and in the unexpected alliances born from laughter, betrayal, and ultimately forgiveness.